Module number 2 that deals with the process and the methods which are dealt in recruiting and selecting the talented workforce for an organization. In this particular module, we are going to concentrate on what are the key components of effective recruitment and selection, right from job analysis to training evaluation. All will be covered in this module. Welcome back. Let's begin. Now, in simple terms, this particular module is going to focus on three very important aspects which deals with HRM, that is understanding HR planning and policy, that is human resource planning and policy. In this we are going to learn how to integrate HR strategy with the business needs and the business requirements. Number 2 deals with basically learning about recruitment and selection techniques. What are the different techniques which are used for recruiting, hiring people, and what are the criteria or selection techniques to get the best talent in your organization. In this, understanding the factors affecting recruitment and selection as well as different selection methods will be basically discussed. And the third and the major part is improves training and development, discover different training methods and how to evaluate their effectiveness. Now, when it comes to human resource development or human resource management, the very first thing is to understand the planning process. What exactly is human resource planning? What are policies and processes which are involved when it comes to HR planning and how to make it more effective? So 6 steps for effective for planning, HR planning are: the step 1 says that define the HR objectives and goals. The second says analyze current HR status and situation. Third says analyze supply and demand for HR. Fourth one says define HR objectives and goals of the organization. Fifth says implement HR plans and programs. And finally, evaluate and review HR planning efforts, that what has been done, is it correct or not? Is it according to the business strategy? It is going along as it was planned or not? In the umbrella of HRP comes job analysis. As you go by the term itself, analysis is a term which is being frequently used in research. Now, research is to find out something which you don't know, a problem for which you are finding solutions. So in terms of HRP, when it comes to job analysis, it basically is going to help you in analyzing the job, then find out that what are the basic things that describes the job, that what needs to be done, what is exactly the position, the title, the location, whereas duties, reporting, machines, workplace environment, etc. Whereas job specification basically specifies what education, work experience, skill, responsibility, timing, personal and emotional characteristics are required in job analysis. Now, why it is important? It is basically important for 3 reasons. It helps the organization understand the nature and requirement of each job, because we can say that each job that is being performed in the organization in different hierarchical level have specific things to be performed. So it has to be very clearly stated that what is the purpose, what is the nature and requirement of that particular job or profile. The second one says it provides a detailed and objective understanding of the duties, tasks, skills, knowledge, and abilities needed to perform the job. That means the second one, or the second importance of job analysis, is basically concentrating on KSA, that is knowledge, ability, and skills that are required to perform a job. And finally, job analysis helps develop description, set performance standards, design training programs, and make informed decisions about recruitment, selection, promotion, and finally compensation. Now, the next step after doing analysis, description, analysis, job design, etc., this next important phase is the recruitment process itself. When it comes to the process, the first and the foremost an organization is basically going to do is to prepare in themselves that what are the different vacancies or the areas where we need more manpower. The second one is the sourcing, whether it's going to be someone from internally or we need an external body to come and help us in this. Then the screening out sessions, selections, hiring, and onboarding. These are the basic processes that is going to be followed when you are going with the recruitment process. Now, when it comes to the process and the factors that will affect recruitment, see, when we talk about an organization, recruitment is going to be affected by both internal and external factors. The internal factors is basically going to be related with the size of the organization, the demographics, the size of the organization, the recruitment policy, and the image of the organization. That when you are basically hiring people internally, this is how it's going to be all about. When it comes to external, definitely demographics factor, unemployment rate, and competitors are also to be taken into account when you are basically going with the external factors that may affect the recruitment. Now, attracting a diverse pool of candidates and legal framework on recruitment is another factors that will play an important role. Now, the sources of recruitment. There are basically two sources of recruitment: internal and external. Internal consist or basically are those sources which are basically within the boundaries of the organization, like promotion, transfer, employee referrals, and formal employees. But external is something which is going outside the organization, means you're hiring or you're searching for people from outside the organization who are not part of the organization, and for which you are advertising. You are using the employment exchange, employment portals like lottery.com, and all these websites, educational institutions, and recommendations are going to be the external sources of recruitment. Next is basically the selection. Once everything is done, you have created a pool of people for whatever sources you have, internal or external. Now you need to screen them out or select the best person for your organization. Now, the first one in the selection process, if you see the graph, it goes that the first thing is preliminary interviews that may be taken. Now, again, this will depend, the selection will depend majorly on the type of organization, the type of profile, and the number of people who are there in the organization who have applied for a position. Now, receiving applications will be the second step, then the screening of application. Now, at every step of selection, you find screening out. Like the employment test, again, the people will be screened out. Then there is interview, again, the people will be screened out. Reference checking is being done, medical examination, final selection. Now, this is according to the government structure. Like if you are going for any of the government organizations and a recruitment in that, selection criteria is going to be based on these. The types of selection tests may be an aptitude test, which includes mental ability, intelligence test, or intelligence test, personality, and performance test. Medical aptitude will also include psychomotor test in some cases where the mind plays a very important role. Now, once the person is being selected in an organization, the next step is basically orienting him regarding how the organization works. What is the work culture all about? How you are going to be there in the organization. So orientation basically emphasizes, is also called as onboarding process, provides new employees with the information they need to function. Ideally, it should be also helps the new employees to start getting emotionally attached to the organization, because in this you come to know about how the organization, you come to know about your own organization where you are starting with work. Now, the placement is the art of offering the job to a finally selected candidate. It is an act of finally assigning the rank and responsibility to an employee, identifying him with a particular job. Like it's like a when you join a university, you are basically told about the do's and don'ts about the entire university. But once you are basically belonging to a particular department, like in this case, business students are there, so you are basically going to be going to a respective institution. So there is the placement done over there. Now, training and development objectives and importance. Why training is important for an organization? Training is basically enhancing the skills, abilities of an organization employee. So the basic objective is to raise efficiency and productivity of the employee, to create capable and loyal employees, to provide opportunities and growth of self-development, meet changing demands and challenges which is going across, whether it's global, because we are taking it in the global context, right? So, and why training is important? Because you want to utilize your resources to the optimum level, which includes the human resource, development of skills of the employees, productivity, team spirit, organizational culture, healthy work environment, morale, image, and profitability, which is going to be determined or basically defined with the help of how trained, how efficient your workforce is. When it comes to defining the types of training, it can be on the job training and off the job training. When it comes to on the job training, by the term itself, you can easily make it out that on the job training is basically done during the course of the job itself, like learning the essential necessary to do the job while working under supervision, while off-the-job training attends formal training session, workshops or conferences to develop new skill or enhances existing ones. Means you are not working, you are straight away taking an OD and going to for the training program wherever it is basically done. Now, basics and benefits and drawback of each training method will be understand the trade-offs between the training methods and how to select the right method of different situation. Now, again, training methods, training type, training programs will be determined according to the organization and their requirement as well as needs. Finally, evaluation of training effectiveness. What is the way through which you are going to evaluate whether your training has been, with whatever training you have done, is basically effective or not? It basically types of evaluation are reaction evaluation, means what is are the reaction, positive or the negative ones, or maybe the neutral ones. Learning evaluation, behavioral change evaluation, and result evaluation. Outcome is the basic emphasis, basically emphasized while you are evaluating a training program. And what are the benefits of having an effective evaluation? It will understand the importance of evaluating the effectiveness of training programs to improve the future training and development initiative which are going to be taken by organization. Now that sums up today's session, because this was basically concentrating on giving you a brief introduction about recruitment, selection, and training, and how important they are for an effective organization and for an effective workforce. Till we meet in the next lecture, thank you and goodbye.